And get ready to rage and then immediately Inferno Dragon. Okay, let's go like this. And then high Inferno Dragon and just try and shred this. Oh my gosh! Wait, the boosted rocket one-shotted that. That was crazy! That was insane! Oh my gosh. His tower just got destroyed. I cannot believe that. Oh my gosh, I know bro's fuming. It's a little difficult to put into words what people mean when they say a deck in Clash Royale takes 0 skill. And I think if I were to try and put a definition on it, I'd probably say something that's a ratio of how good the deck is in the meta compared to how difficult it is to play. So for example, when you think of minor control decks, they're really good in the meta, but at the same time, they're really difficult to play. And for today's video, we have a deck that scores a 10 on pretty much both of those scales, which means it is a very strong deck, but it is also very easy to use. And dare I say, requires 0 skill. You have 3 of the most broken cards in the game in the Evo Lumberjack, Evo Mega Knight, and the Rune Giant, and you can essentially just steamroll people with your boosted counter pushes. So come along for the ride and I will show you how to cook your opponents with this boosted deck. Into our first match of the video. Not super proud about this one, but I wanted everyone to know how good of a deck this is. So we're going to be showing you how to overwhelm your opponents with this deck. I'm really excited to show you just how broken this deck is. I feel like, you know, I mentioned it in the intro, but the scale of how good this deck is proportionate to how easy it is to play is disgusting. Like, this deck is not difficult to use, but it is still so good. I think this is the most no-skill deck inside of Clash Royale. It's really boosted right now, so we're going to go like this, take care of the Skeleton King. Kind of looks like, I want to say like Mortar or Mega Knight. I'm going to do this just to try and catch him off guard and maybe force out something. He doesn't have bats or anything cheap. Nice. So we were able to force out some elixir from him there. And yeah, I misplaced my bomber. Ice Wizard, Goblins. It kind of looks like it's a Mortar deck or a Mega Knight deck. Or both. I'm not sure. Mega Knight is so good in the meta right now. I feel like everything's kind of running Mega Knight, or at least a lot of things. Fortunately, I have my Evo Lumberjack in cycle. He just cycles his bats. I'm going to cycle my Mega Knight. We're both trying to get to our Evos. Next, bats that he have in cycle will be evolved ones. He just cycles a cannon card in the back. I think that's fine. I think I'm just gonna let this go because I think he's, you know, gonna defend this pretty well. Okay, now I'm no longer gonna let it go. If he goes Evo bats, we have arrows, but he's not back to them yet. So we'll just go ahead and wait. I think this is gonna take care of the cannon card as well, so that's fine. I didn't expect anything from that push. I really just wanted to cycle to my Evos. And actually, this is perfect, to be completely honest. All right, we're gonna go Lumberjack here on the Mortar. And that's going to lock, and that's fine. We're going to go Bomber, because I know, yeah, I was going to say, I feel like he's going to go Gang, and that forces out the arrows, so that's fine. We survived the Mortar, not a problem. Lumberjack might get, like, one swing onto the tower, but not that big of a deal. I'm actually going to set up a Rune Giant in the back. I think now's a really good time. We have arrows in hand if he goes for minor Evo Bats. That's, like, a really common pressure tactic that these types of decks like to do, so looks like he doesn't. He's just going to set up a defense, which I think is the proper play. I think pressuring there would have been a little bit of an overcommitment. Let's go Eye Dragon on this. We have our arrows ready. Great arrows value. Kind of hard for him not to give us arrows value in that situation, so I get it. We're going to continue to pressure, and I'm going to drop Rage onto all of this. Unfortunately, the Ice Wizard lives, so we'll see if he defends well, but I mean, it's just so hard to defend this, like, properly. Like, I don't know how to describe it, man. Like, the pressure that this deck can put on for such little effort is very, very easy. We also have a lot of things that we can drop in the middle when he does finally get to his Mortar. You can see we're up a lot of elixir here. We're cycling all of this cards. He hasn't been able to really go in for anything. I'm going to go arrows onto this. That was actually really smart because now bats get a lot of value. But because bats get a lot of value, we're going to go in with the Lumberjack and have our Rage ready. So now at this point, if he goes for the bats, we're going to just drop a Rage on it. And if he doesn't, we're just going to keep spamming. As you can see, the skill learning curve for this deck is not very high. Pre-arrows on whatever he plays. Yeah, we pretty much hit the bats. This is going to be GG's. I don't know what this guy could have done better. Maybe queue in with a different deck. I'm not entirely sure, but really easy first win there. We're going to see you in the next match. All right, next game here. And there are variants of this deck littered all throughout the top 100 and everywhere else. So you see lots of different variants, all like Rune Giant spam decks. Like I said, I think it's kind of like a new deck archetype, bridge spam, but you have to have Rune Giant in it because it synergizes so well. And oh my gosh, the Mega Knight. Can we talk about the Mega Knight, dude? It's such a good card, always. All right, he cycles a Lumberjack. These are effectively going to cancel out, so I'm just going to cycle my Bomber here just to clean it up. And when I see my opponent running the Evo Lumberjack, I'm a little stressed, but we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. At least we're both playing with the same card. Bomber's going to get one shot here. Nah, it does not. Okay, Lumberjack, Ice Golem. I don't really know. Or, not Ice Golem. Baby Dragon. We're going to go like this here, just kind of to cycle and just to support this. I want it to be awkward for him to activate his King Tower. if he decides to do so. Okay, it's either graveyard. It is graveyard, right? This is graveyard. But the Lumberjack is weird in a graveyard deck, so honestly, I'm not really sure. We're just going to set up a Kite here. Kites are one of the best ways, if not the best way, to defend the Evo Lumberjack, because you want it to, like, walk out of the rage radius. So that Rune Giant there was really just for defensive purposes. I didn't want to use it offensively, but it was a really good way of kiting the troops, but also kiting the Evo Lumberjack. So I'm going to let this go. It's either Golem or Graveyard, like I said. I'm not 100% sure. We're just going to let this Ice Wizard go. We're gonna cycle our Evil Lumberjack in the back here. Just kind of let this thing cook. Honestly, pretty good timing with him going for the Baby Dragon, because I can kind of just ignore the Baby Dragon. So since he just cycled 4 Elixir that I can essentially just ignore. Ah, there's the Golem. See, the problem with that is the Evo Mega Knight and the Lumberjack do a great job, but we can also just shred this. It's not double Elixir. He doesn't have any great way to support this, so this is all just going to get, like, completely shredded. So I guess, I don't know. That was a weird play. I'm going to rage everything up here and just probably shred that Golem and take his entire tower, so... Tough, man, tough. I don't want to, like, look at him and say, like, that was a... Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This deck's so good. And the tower retargeted onto the Rune Giant, so we're going to get a nice easy 3 crown here. So, tough time to be a Golem player. Great time to be a Rune Giant spam player. We're going to see you in the next match. Alright, into our next match here. Casually just speed running these matches. Like, I didn't expect the games to go by this quick, but it really just goes to state how good this deck is. In general, you kind of want to be reactive. You know, it's kind of a counter push deck. If you can get up 1 or 2 or 3 Elixir, you can do the most with this deck. He cycles this Lumberjack. I get it. Wants to get to his Evo. I don't really expect too much from this, to be honest. I'm just going to cycle my card in the back as well, my Bomber. I'm going to let this go. Good to know that he has the Electro Dragon, because the Electro Dragon does very, very well against this deck. So I'm actually going to cycle my Inferno Dragon, like, into it. And I think we're going to be okay here, because I can actually distract the Electro Dragon with a Mega Knight. And this was kind of just my way of cycling. Ooh, he goes for the Tornado right away. I actually don't agree with that. I would agree with that if we were on his side of the map, but we're not. And now he won't be able to activate King Tower. We're going to have a really nice counter push. So this might even be like, I don't want to say GG's already, but we're probably going to get a significant amount of damage onto the tower, because that was just like a really bad tornado. And that's what this deck does, dude. It just punches so well. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're up here against Golem or E-Giant. I think it's Golem. Again, which is crazy. Shoutouts to Golem, man. I'm glad that it's making its way back into the meta. I actually made a video on Golem not that long ago. Because I feel like Golem kind of got, I don't know, steamrolled by a lot of the, you know, popular evolution decks, and there hasn't been a Golem meta for a long time. So I'm happy to see that it's back in the meta. He drops the Golem. We're just going to cycle our Rune Giant. What we really need to be careful of is the Electro Dragon. The Electro Dragon is very difficult, so because of that, I'm actually going to drop my Inferno Dragon. Yeah, I was going to say, and then the Goblin Machine, because both of these kind of target this, but that's like going to be my best hope of defending here. But the Rune Giant hopefully is going to keep the Evo Electro Dragon off of a lot of this, but apparently not, because its radius is so disgustingly big. But the good news is the Golem just gets shredded. So even though he has surviving troops, which is annoying, the Golem gets shredded. I'm going to Arrows, because that Evo Electro Dragon is the only really chance he has, as if that gets maximum value. And it really did get so much value. He goes in for the Lumberjack here. That thing just got shredded by my Inferno Dragon, and now it's headed to the tower next, which is amazing. We're going to go Rune Giant here. I just play my Bomber to cycle. I don't super need it. That's a really interesting Golem. I'm not even going to lie. We're going to do the same thing, cycle Goblin Machine into it. We're just going to decimate it, and going to be able to easily take his tower. I think I want to go... I need to make sure that this E-Drag just gets taken care of, honestly. So we're going to go like this. Probably have to cycle back to another pair of arrows, possibly, because, yeah, this is when it starts to get troublesome. So we cycled one Inferno Dragon early, so we can get back to another one. And at this point, we're already in spell cycle range. So, honestly, that guy could have played it a little better. He needed to get more value out of his Electro Dragon. But we were really aware that that was kind of his win condition, and we defended and we counterattacked really well. So, GG's to that Golem player. Should have done better with his E-Dragon, but again, very nonchalant, very easy win. So, we're going to hold it, and I'll see you in the next match. Alright, up here against Kibbles. So far, so good with this deck. I mean, these matches have just been flying by, and it's been really fun. So, I definitely would implore you to try this deck. I always, you know, whenever I play a deck on this channel, of course, I want you to try it. But this one especially is, like, so easy to use, and, like, I don't know. It's all over the top 100, the top 1,000. He's probably going to get a King Tower activation here. Like I said, with this deck, it's kind of inevitable. Just goes for the Lava. Okay. He might pull that to the King Tower, or he might just let it go. Wow, really good defense. I didn't know a cage full counter to Mega Knight. We're desperately trying to cycle to our Inferno Dragon, which appears to not be in our hand. So we need to just play our cheapest cards and try and get to our Inferno Dragon. And we're going to rage all of this up. Go for the Inferno Dragon. And now he at least has to defend that. Yeah, and now he doesn't have enough elixir to really get this Inferno Dragon off the map. So we're happy campers here. We survived the first push. I wasn't really ready for him to go in for a lava. It's kind of cool that the Goblin Machine targets air. I mean, it's really, really nice. I'm going to go with it like this to pull it away and make sure my Inferno Dragon gets as much value as possible. And yeah, and it forced that out, which is huge. Wow, that was such a really, really good play to help defend. And now we basically just demolished his entire Doctor and Goblinstein. So that was really huge for us. I'm going to drop a Rune Giant of my own here. Just kind of clog this lane for a little while. The one thing that the card that I don't want to cycle needlessly is the, what's it called? Inferno Dragon. So we need to get back to another one. I'm going to go Goblin Machine here. And get ready to rage and then immediately Inferno Dragon. Okay, let's go like this. And then high Inferno Dragon and just try and shred this. Oh my gosh! Wait, the boosted rocket one-shotted that. That was crazy! That was insane! Oh my gosh. His tower just got destroyed. I cannot believe that. Oh my gosh. I know bro's fuming. Or not, but that's just crazy. Wow, 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 wow. That is bonkers to me. So bonkers to me. Okay. Need to be careful here, though. We're going to go low Lumberjack, and I'm just going to rage, because the only thing I'm scared about in this push is that it eye dragons, so the sooner that gets off the map, the better. I'm going to go Rune Giant here just to level this up and to be like a 3-crown threat. I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent just gave up. I feel like I would just give up after that interaction. That interaction of the Skeleton Dragons getting destroyed was absolutely crazy. So yeah, feel bad for Kibbles, I really do, because this deck is just bonkers. Another easy win. We'll see you in the next match. Alright, next game here against Cool Thomas. Hippopotamus. I don't know. Something. I'm having a lot of fun with this deck. If you are one of those players who like only plays one deck, I totally understand it, but you really should try something new. It'll really change your perspective on the game, and it'll probably make you enjoy Clash Royale a lot more. I used to kind of just be like a hardcore one trick, and I don't know, I like the game so much more. Trying new things, playing different deck archetypes. I'm just gonna do arrows here. I don't really have, necessarily a great play. And then I can let this go. I guess I can't let it go. Okay, so it looks like he's going to be running... I feel like there's a Ram Rider Royal Recruits deck that's pretty decent. Like kind of just like a spammy deck with the Berserker. And he actually might have a Rune Giant as well. I think this is a Rune Giant deck. There are so many decks that work with their Rune Giant. This is just one of them. Good defense by my opponent. Oh, we kind of messed that up a little bit. We'll just cycle a Bomber here. We kind of needed to cycle a card anyway. I want to know what the rest of his deck is. But I think he has like a Mega Knight and a Rune Giant in this deck. But I'm not entirely sure. Let's go ahead and cycle a cage into his Ice Wizard. It's either Mega Knight or Prince or Rune Giant. Just something like that. Bomber's actually going to do a pretty decent job here. I actually think those recruits might have been a mistake. We're going to go Rune Giant and Lumberjack. And I don't know how easy he's going to be able to defend this. We'll see, though. Maybe he will. Honestly, that Flying Machine gets a lot of value for him. But even so... Yeah, even so, that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't know if it'll be that easy for him to defend this. And he's definitely only going to get like a fraction of the damage that we got on his tower. In fact, we took his entire tower. So that was pretty worth it. Good read by me. Kind of just going off of like an intuition, kind of like a feeling that it wasn't going to be able to defend. Sometimes I watch players and they're like, oh yeah, he can't defend. And I just felt that. So I went in. We're in a really, really great spot. I can just kind of clog this lane, and he plays spam. So as long as we don't give too much value to the Flying Machine, we're going to be okay. I can just drop a Mega Knight on anything else that he plays. Try and get as much value as possible out of our Inferno Dragons. We're just going to play right on top of the Flying Machine. This Lumberjack will do great over there. Yeah, and the Flying Machine is like really just the biggest threat in this matchup. Yeah, Ram Rider. Not going to take my tower, but I should have saved enough elixir for the Evo Mega Knight. So that's my fault, to be completely honest. Okay. Let's go ahead and go like this. Go Rune Giant to level everything up. Get a nice rage onto everything, and just kind of like decimate his entire push. He's going to have to spend a spell on my tower, but he also needs to defend at the same time. So we're going to go Inferno Dragon in the pocket. And if he spends to take my tower, he's probably not going to be able to keep his. So GG's to that guy. I mean, we managed the game very, very well. Honestly, it was a pretty good matchup for us once we identified it. So another relatively easy win. We'll see you in the next match. Next game up here against this player. If you guys have any video requests or anything like that, feel free to comment those. I always, I really love reading all of the comments. People have been really nice. I've been getting a lot of love on the channel recently. But if you have a video, W defense. If you have a video suggestion or deck that you want me to try, I love reading those. So definitely let me know. Looks like we're going to be up here against Logbait. Some form of Logbait, I guess. We'll just cycle our Mega Knight. Mainly because he's running Dagger Duchess and he just cycled his Valkyrie. So sometimes for these decks, it can be kind of awkward for them to defend when they don't have their Valkyrie in cycle. So just seemed like a good time to cycle into my Evo. I'm going to go Lumberjack here as well because I want to save arrows for this defense or this push because I think he's going to go for a King Tower activation. Oh, he has an Inferno Tower. I thought he was running like a Hypno deck that doesn't run like a building, but it looks like he is not. He's running a variant that does have a building, so we're going to keep that in mind. Just eat that Wall Breaker. I cycle my berry here. I'm just like a little Princess Paranoid. Just clogs the lane for the time being. So he probably also has a rocket as well. I'm going to go ahead and go like this. Have my Rage ready, have my arrows ready, and see what we can do. We're going to arrows onto all of this. And probably Rage as well. We should get a decent amount of damage. Because Dagger Duchess is so heckin' bad against these types of decks. And now I'm like, what does he play on this? Like a Valk? We're going to go like this to make sure that the Valk doesn't get too far away. And now our Inferno Dragon's going to probably take his entire tower. So that was a crazy play. Oh my gosh, he gets the Ice Spirit down. I don't know, man. Dagger Duchess is so bad sometimes. Like, what was he supposed to do there? Great pressure, great recognition by me. I don't think he should be going Princess at the Bridge in these types of matchups. So that's kind of on him, I feel. Good arrows on the Dark Goblin as well. We're just looking so good. We could still lose this, but in a 2-tower match, man, it's probably curtains for him. Like we've already won the match, not because we've taken a tower, but because we've taken a tower, and this matchup is like atrocious for them. So I'm just gonna keep kind of like cycling cards into this lane. I need to be careful though, because he can defend like relatively easily because of the eye tower. I'm gonna keep spamming him here. Evil Valkyrie's gonna get a lot of mileage here. Lumberjack on these. Can't go in for a princess. We're gonna be okay. Need to be mindful of a princess at the bridge. Need to be mindful of a lot of things here. I kind of have to let that go to an extent. He goes princess, we go bomber. Okay, sounds good. He's actually doing a really good job, I'm not even gonna lie. Given the hand that he's been dealt, I should say. He's trying to save this match, but it ain't gonna work, man. I hate to break it to you. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna go in here, and we're gonna totally take his tower, right? Yeah, I feel like he overspent there. I understand that he needed to go in there, but good on us for not panicking and kind of just getting the proper punish in that situation. So GG's to that bait player. That is a tough matchup for them, but at the same time, we played it really well. So huge dub. We'll see you in our next game. All right, into our last match of the video here. I'm having a blast with this deck. I seriously love this deck, but I try to keep the videos at a reasonable length, like 20-25 minutes. So if you've made it this far into the video, you're like 20 or 30% of the people that watch. So shout outs to you for making it to the end. You have a special place in my heart. Thank you so much. And I love seeing the comments on the videos. Like people are like, oh, I watch this when I eat or blah, blah, blah. Like all that stuff. It just makes me happy. All right, interesting. He cycles the Inferno Tower. I'm going to use that as an opportunity to cycle my Mega Knight here. Inferno Tower, probably one of the best answers in the game to the Mega Knight, so might as well make him defend, especially with him having the Dagger Duchess. This could turn real awkward real fast for them, so we'll see. He probably has like a ground tank or something, and he'll be able to defend this no problem. Yeah, all good. Makes a lot of sense. Let's go like this, then Lumberjack as well. I only want this getting one hit on my tower, not two, and I can pretty much ignore that. Okay, Hog Poison. Wasn't something that I had on my bingo card, but fair enough. Interesting. Hog Poison is so weird because I feel like Poison is really bad for breaking through buildings, but it looks like his defense is going to be rock solid with the archers and the Valkyrie. As the match goes on, it's going to get better for us, though, because Dagger Duchess gets worse in double and triple elixir, so don't really expect to break through and single or double or anything like that, but that's okay. Just need to be careful. I'll probably save my Evo Mega Knight for the Hog and just cycle cards other than that one. I'm going to wait, though. I mean, he's leaking. Okay, now we'll go Goblin Machine. And as soon as he goes in for the Evo Hog, Mega Knight, Evo Mega Knight is good enough to keep the Hog to 0 shots because it pushes the Hog back, which is really nice. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the E-Dragon last second, so that way I have enough for the Mega Knight if he goes in with the Hog. He just opts to go in for Barbs. Makes sense. He played those Barbs kind of in a weird spot, though, where the Inferno Dragon's still going to get a lot of value on them, so perhaps that was a little bit of a mistake. I would say so. See how he defends this here? It's going to be awkward for him. I'm going to rage all of this up. Yeah, he had to go for a defensive Hog Rider Kite. Mega Knight, this is going to be really easy for him to defend with the Inferno Tower. We don't have a lot of great options for defense against the Eye Tower, so kind of just have to hold that L here, let the Inferno take care of that Mega Knight. We kind of played it defensively anyway. But now that it's out of cycle, we can start to build up a big push here. At the very least, build up a push. And go like this, and rage. Gonna get ready if he pressures with the Hog as well, but he does need to defend. And a great defense it'll be. But this is what I'm talking about, where Dagger Duchess just gets like increasingly worse as the match goes on. So you kind of start to feel bad for him, you know what I mean? Arrows onto everything. We missed one of the archers though. If we hit that other archer, we would have been in a way better spot, but we're still going to get a ton of damage. So hard to complain with the damage that we're going to get. Yeah, you force out a Valkyrie, which is huge. Let's get our Lumberjack ready. I'm fearful of a Hog in that lane, so we're going to go like this. Just wait, see if he goes Hog. If not, we're going to go with an Inferno Dragon. He's still kind of getting his elixir back, to be completely honest, so. Alright. That Lumberjack's going to go to work. Go, keep going, keep going. Look at him go, look at him go, look at him go. It's great damage. We're looking pretty good so far. We want to apply enough pressure, but not too much pressure where we overextend and can't defend, you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, good Lumberjack. I had a feeling he was going to go in for arrows there. Get the Rune Giant down to boost this up. Take care of that Inferno, hopefully. That Rune Giant's going to get melted. It's pretty close game here. We're going to go High Bomber to try and avoid giving him too much arrows value. We're going to arrows this all day, 100% of the time. It's an even trade, and we're getting rid of Evos with it, so of course. This should only get one hit. I think Evo Lumberjack has a really fast fire rate. Beautiful. All right, we need to set up for one more push and try and break through here as best as we can. Nice. Let's go like this. We need to get our arrows ready here. Exactly. There they go. Inferno, dude, just gets so much value against us. I know I keep saying it, but it's true. We're going to get a second Rune Giant down and a second Inferno Dragon down. Rage onto all of this. My man is playing Clash of Clans. I get it. I get it. It's the right play, but holy moly. Maybe we get a Lumby onto the tower here? Maybe. Let's rage this up. And that's going to be GG's. He can't get that off the tower. There's nothing in his deck that'll get it off. So GG's to that guy. He played it well. Felt like it was a pretty even match. I feel like he kind of had matchup there if he just defended well. But one push is all it takes. So we're going to end on that stolen W. I'll catch you in the outro. And that is going to do it for today's video. Here's the deck one more time in case you want to take a screenshot and try it out yourself. I will also put the link to this deck in the YouTube description so you can just open it in the app. But my god, this deck is so easy and it's so fun. It kind of reminds me of how I feel when I play with like Elixir Golem. Not that it's as toxic, but by far it's one of the best and new deck archetypes in the entire meta. So give it a try and please let me know your honest thoughts about this deck in the comment section. And thank you so much for the engagement. It really means a lot. And I hope to see you in another video real soon. Peace out!